Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look on how to how to find GCFs out of monomials. So, just to refresh our memory, we need to first think about our numbers. And so we're comparing 18 and 24. So if we look at 18, our factors, we know 1 and 18 give us 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. And then for 24, we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. And so the greatest common factor is going to be 6 here. Notice that 6 is the highest one in both of them. And so we know our GCF is going to be 6. And then the next question is our variables. And so x to the fifth means that you have 5 x's. So if we just write these out like this, and then we have 1x here. So the question is, how many do they have in common? So that's the important part of GCF. They have to be in common. So they have 1 in common. And so that 1 common is going to be a part of the GCF. And then if we look at the y's, we have a y to the second, which means 2 y's, and then we just have a y. So again, how many do they have in common? They have 1 in common. And so you're going to have 6xy as your GCF. A little tidbit for finding your variables, it's always going to be the variable. If they both have it, it's going to be the variable that has the smaller exponent. So remember, these are exponents of 1. And so 1 is smaller than 5. So I'm going to take 1. And then 1 is smaller than 2. So we'll take the 1. Okay, let's take a look at another example. So we have 32 and 16. I always start with my smaller number. And go from there. So 16, we have 1 and 16. We have 2 and 8, and then 4 times 4. So that's the same number, but 4 and 4. And 32, we have 1 and 32, 2 and 16. And notice that is also right there. And so since that's the highest one, I actually can stop. I don't even need to go any further. I know 16 is going to be my GCF. So I have 16. And then notice we have an x to the third and an x to the second. And so you're going to take the one that has the smaller exponent for your GCF. So that's going to be x to the second. And then we have a y to the sixth and a y to the third. And so since the third is the smaller one and they both have it, then the y to the third is going to be a part of your GCF. And let's try one more that has the 3 variables. So we have 15. 1 and 15, and 3 and 5 are your factors of 15. And 60, if you want to, what you can do is, can you divide 15? Think about your biggest one. Does 15 go into 60? It does. 4 and 15 is a factor. So again, you don't even have to do all of your 60. You can just look and notice the largest one goes with it. And so 15 is going to be your GCF. And then we have an x to the sixth and an x to the first power. So since they both have an x, we're going to take that x to the first power. We have a y to the 10th and a y to the 12th. So 10 is smaller, so we're going to take y to the 10th. And then you have a z to the 12th and a z to the ninth. And z to the ninth is smaller, so you're going to take the z to the ninth. And that is your GCF.